the boldness that you gain after speaking affirmations over yourself. The more you hear it, the more you believe that it's true.
And welcome to Premier Fitness. I'm Gene Williams, your yoga instructor, and I'm here to tell you about the benefits of yoga.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us. You have just tuned in to Where is the Love? I am your host, Stephanie Hockenhole. Joining me is my son, our co-host, Gene Williams.
Hey, what's good, people? How y'all doing?
Hey. Party over here.
Party over there.
Party everywhere. Again, thank you for joining our show. You're just tuned in to Where's the Love? Listen, we have a guest today, and we are happy and excited about her being here. But first, we need to recap last week's show after. Hey, sis.
Hey, Auntie.
We want to tell you where to join us at. And we want you to share wherever you're watching us from. If you're watching us from Facebook, please share. Even if you can't stay, please share. If you're watching us on YouTube, please share. Even if you can't stay, please share. So you can watch us right now on YouTube, Love Misunderstood Institute channel, or Premier Fitness 0210. So either one of those YouTube channels, watch us there, and please share. Please like, subscribe, and share so that you can get future shows.
I think you're right, Mark. I think you're right. I think she wants you to share, people. Share is the operative word here.
Share, right. Okay? Share. Life
Sharing
is good when
caring.
Right. Thanks, sis. All right. Also, you can catch us on Roku or Amazon Fire. Just by simply searching POD TV space LIVE, and you can watch us live on TV right now. Also, you can catch us on a website. Listen to Sesame Street too much. Okay, Mark. All right. Or you can watch us on the website right now, podtv.tv. So there are many places where you can watch us, share, like, subscribe, do all of that.
All of it. All of that. You can do it.
All right. Last week we had Dr. Regina Platt on our show, and she talked about love. She helped us get ourselves together to learn the importance and value of loving ourselves and loving others. And it was a fabulous show. Son, you want to add anything?
No, it was a great show, and I'm definitely looking forward to this one. A lot of things were touched on last week that I think were especially great for people searching to tune into the highest version of yourself. And that's kind of what we're going to get into today with our special guest. So very excited. And I'm also trying to find a link so I can share it.
I need to share it from YouTube, and I can't get to it yet. I'm on Facebook. While I will get that to you in just a minute, I'll put that out. Beverly, how did you share from Love Misunderstood Institute? I can't even share from there. It won't even let me.
Oh, technology.
Technology. Yeah, Facebook set it up to where I can't share from the business page anymore. So give me just a minute and I'll go to YouTube and do that. But first, let me introduce our speaker, our guest, so that we can move on with the show. So give me just a minute and I'll get to that and share that link with you. All right. So today our guest is Isabel Luz Camacho Black, also known as Izzy, the healer, the intentional healer, owner of Gigi's Natural Hippie Essentials. And I have tried the Hippie Essentials, and it's good. It works well. I tried it a few years ago when I first met Izzy. All right. She is also co-founder and president of Activate Your Power Now, which is awesome for speakers. She called me out of the audience a few weeks ago to speak unexpectedly, but now I stay ready, so I was okay. All right. She is also speaker on intentional living, one breath and step at a time. She is also co-host on Becoming the Best You talk show and Felon to Fabulous talk show, providing all natural options for healing and health in all that she does. Making all natural plant-based salves with her mother's recipes, she is able to bless many with living pain-free.
Oh yeah.
Providing an all-natural alternative to over-the-counter first aid and health products has become a passion that she never saw coming. She learned to honor natural creation as her source to healing for not only her body, but for her mind and soul as well. Y'all better get ready.
Oh yeah.
All right, providing a safe platform for others to activate their power within their story and utilize it to create the life they desire, encouraging all to live intentionally.
Oh yeah.
Doing all things on purpose, with purpose, proacting the pause and breath, allowing spirit to guide the next best step unapologetically. Intentional living and giving back as a speaker and co-host has led her to a peaceful place of existence. Exactly what we have, exactly what she has always desired. She invites all to join her on this journey. So Izzy, welcome Izzy, and I'm gonna find this YouTube link. So Gene, if you would,
Hey Izzy, how you doing? Thank you for coming on, Izzy.
Yes, thank you. It's great to be on the show. Thank you for inviting me. And I want to say thank you to both of you just for serving in this capacity, right, to people bullying. I've been speaking now for going on 2 years, and I actually have not spoke on this topic. So what you guys are doing is needed.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just so grateful to be a part of it and to share this part of my story, because again, I've been on a platform every month for the last 2 years and never once touched on my experience with bullying. And I put a little teaser out there for my people. They don't even know this yet, but yes, Izzy the Intentional Healer. I've existed on both sides of the spectrum when it comes to bullying. So, and probably a lot of places in between, uneven knowingly, right?
Yeah.
So
right.
Thank you for what you guys are doing, and thank you for inviting me to be a part of it.
Awesome.
Go ahead, G.
I was gonna say, could you give us like maybe a little story about your bullying experiences on both sides if you can?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. So I come from a background of, I guess, if we just put it, it was just very traumatic, a very traumatic background. My dad's a bully, and he's a proud bully, right? He's a respected bully. So he was in the Air Force and was an MP when I was growing up, but he also lived a life, a secret life that people didn't know about. He's always been involved in drugs, drug trafficking, just little things here and there. So he was, I guess, looking back now, always 1 foot in integrity, 1 foot out. And when you're respected in that realm, I feel like it builds this ego, within and stuff, because he got away with so much for so long. And when I was in first grade, we were in California where he was stationed, and he actually kidnapped me. I'm the youngest of him and my mom's 3 children. And he kidnapped us from California and took us to El Paso, which is where he's from and my mom is from, and took us to his parents. So, and we were living there. It was during those next couple of years where my dad took us, and we lived with our grandparents. And then I guess they pretty much told him, listen, we're not here going to raise your children for you. I guess they were just probably trying to push him to be responsible with his responsibilities. No one knew he took us without anybody's permission and went AWOL from the Air Force. So they thought, he gave them the narrative of whatever he told them. So everyone thought he was just out, and they were just supporting him with what he was doing. Well, systems didn't talk back in the day, the way they do now. So we moved to El Paso, and he got a job at the El Paso International Airport. Again, very well respected, and right in a field where he can do what he loves to do best, right behind the scenes. Right. So during those years where he was a single father to us, there was a lot of abuse, physically, mentally. He basically, I guess, took a lot of his trainings from the military and instilled them in us. But everything was, which I guess a lot of the military stuff and everything training it's fear-based.
Right.
So he would put us through different types of tasks, right, to learn loyalty, to learn how to take the fall for someone, not to snitch, not to this and that. And he would do little games with us with, like, I remember one time we have the Trans Mountains and the Franklin Mountains in El Paso, and he would take us up to the mountains in his truck and park at the edge of the cliff. And it would be at nighttime. And he would tell us, this is it. This is where it ends. And he would, I guess, knowing now, you put it in neutral. I didn't know that as a child. Again, I'm from first grade to third grade is when I lived with him before I left. And he would rev the engine to make it seem like we were going to go over the edge. And he would tell us three, who's down? This is it. We're dying today. Who's down? Who's loyal?
Wow.
And my sister, who was the oldest, and she's 4 years older than me, she was groomed very well by him. So she was his number one soldier. And she said, I'm down. I'm going with you. I would be I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? Because someone can explain to me what's going on right now. I don't know what it is, but I'm not okay with it. And I was too conflicting for me. So I'd be like, you're on your own. I'm getting out. And I remember I got out of the truck, and my brother, who's 2 years older than me, he followed me. Mm-hmm. And after, we got out, it was determined who the weak ones were, right? The weaklings, right. And who the real soldier was. And it was just games like that just, he was always trying to teach us some kind of lesson. And he didn't treat people in general very nice. As I started getting older and everything, I realized that he went around with this arrogance, like he was just waiting for the next opportunity to put somebody in their place, to show them how they're wrong and he's right. Or, like he would spark a conversation just to see where someone's, to see where they're at, to test them. And then he would play mind games with you and stuff. So that's how it was groomed. Now, keep in mind, my mom was 12 when they started dating, and my dad was 13, 14, 15, 16-ish. So my mom got kicked out at 12. So my dad helped her. She got pregnant at 14, and that's when he joined the Air Force, and they were able to go together and start a family, and we moved around different states and everything. But my mom, because she was with him at such a young age, she was groomed by him. You see, she's in her 60s now, and she still is just now, like, I'm starting to help her realize, like, it's a lot of grooming that you have, from my dad also.
Right.
So with that being said, you could just imagine, there was so much confusion of how you treat people, and everything was in the name of God, right? So I grew up Catholic, and as long as you were doing the steps of being a Catholic, confession, taking the bread, and everything during service, it was like that's what they determined if you were on the straight and narrow in life, right? And it was just weird. So fast forward, I have that kind of grooming. because I mean, there's so much to talk about. I had all that grooming that by the time I was a parent, I'm going to fast forward. So I'm a parent, I get pregnant at 16, and I want to offer my child something different. So I leave Texas, come to Kansas, and that's where I started my life here in Kansas. Well, since I changed a lot of my ways when I moved up here and became a different person, I thought I was a different person. I thought I left all the worst of me behind. But the truth of the matter is these programmings that we get, right, through whether it be from your childhood, a traumatic situation, there's different things that will imprint those programmings on you, and you don't even realize you're walking around with them. Right. So for lots of years, I'm in Kansas, doing a lot better for myself. I meet my husband, we get married. Again, I'm fast forwarding through a lot, but I want to get to the point where I realized I was a bully too. Because I knew I wasn't my dad. I knew I didn't treat people the way he treated them. Mm-hmm. But I had to get to a certain point in my life where God had to show me that I really wasn't much different. So I guess what I learned through that was typically who we're pointing fingers at. Just put a mirror right in front of you, because it's not to say that person, there's not something going on with that other person that you're pointing a finger at, right? But what I've learned is that if I'm experiencing it, it's because there's something for me to learn. For one, it's just me catching up to myself.
Yeah, a mirror image.
Right. And then once I catch up to myself, am I going to continue to call someone else wrong and not even ask myself, why do I keep being in front of these types of situations or this type of person where I feel like they're coming with that type of energy? And the dots finally connected in 2020. And I was actually coming back from a funeral in El Paso, my uncle's funeral, my dad's eldest brother. And I didn't have a close relationship with him. I knew we had a relationship, but he was in California the majority of my life because he worked for the railroad. But God's spirit was telling me that I needed to be there because I knew my dad wouldn't be there. He didn't go to his parents' funeral. He's very disconnected. So I said, okay, God. So me and my husband, we went, and it was it was a lot of spiritual stuff going on there that God was speaking to me through other people. But it was on the drive home, that 16-hour trip home, and I was listening to a podcast about anger and what happens right with anger and all of that stuff. And I remember telling myself, my dad needs to hear this. My dad needs to hear this. But he hadn't talked to me for 3 years during that time. It was going on 3 years. So I couldn't figure out how to get it to him. But I'm driving and I'm like, this podcast, like, my dad has major anger issues. He needs to hear this. And God was like, no, like, it was so convicting and it offended me. He said, I'm talking to you.
Right.
Like, listen, quit trying to say someone else needs to put in the work. Quit trying to say someone else this and someone else that. I'm talking to you. And I got so angry in that moment that I started debating with God. And I'm like, lies. You're not talking to me. I'm not angry. I said, God, put 5 people in a room. Ask them to give you 5 words. I said, even put 10 people in a room. Tell them to give you 5 words that describe Isabel Black. And I guarantee you, angry, all that stuff, all that yucky stuff, they're not going to say that. They're not. Because I knew I came and I became a different person. But God started showing me visions of my children's faces on the other side of me, of my husband's face on the other side of me, of my mom's face on the other side of me. The first charge, I was a juvenile delinquent. I was in and out of juvenile detention as a young kid. And my first case first charge I ever got was from my mom. She pressed charges on me because I beat the shit out of her. Mm-hmm. And but I'm sitting here telling God I ain't angry. I ain't angry. And he was like, no, I'm talking to you. You know what I mean? Like, stop blaming other people.
Yep.
Yes, I was groomed to be this. Yes, I was. But it doesn't mean it's what I have to be.
Right.
And I told Stephanie, I think it was the other day, but I said, I found myself when I started putting all the pieces together. I was like, oh, I didn't call it bullying because I saw it as I was the Robin Hood of bullies.
Right.
I bullied the bullies.
Yep.
So when I started getting old enough to have a little bass in my voice, I was standing up to my dad because I was the only one who would.
Yeah.
And, you know, he didn't like that. But when I started standing up to him, I started standing up to other people. But God showed me that's not the way either, right? When he showed me the story of Jesus, he was like, when did he call someone wrong? When did he use anger or this yucky energy, you know, that's gonna like, I'm bigger and badder and tougher than you, to get his way?
Yeah.
Or to accomplish something, or to find peace, or to, you know, because that's how I always saw it. I was like, no, they think they're going to bully this person, or they think they're going to bully me. Well, I'm going to show them what it feels like, you know, and then I would act that way, but it was not serving to me. You know, it was that little, I like to say, you know, with me, it's muscle memory. Everything is muscle memory. It takes practice. And even when you don't feel like it, you just keep practicing and practicing and practicing, it's going to become a natural way that you maneuver in life and stuff. So I had to start practicing the love muscle, right? The grace muscle, the compassion. I had no compassion. I didn't realize that. My compassion was very small. And I did trickle that down, you know, to my kids and stuff. I have my boys are very loving, but my daughter's very judgmental. Is just what, you know, she really is. And I'm like, I gave her a piece of that. Because I didn't, I thought I was out here being, you know, like I said, a little Miss Robin Hood and stuff. They got to see me behave in ways that were not productive. They weren't really getting me anywhere in life. They were solving little problems there, but I was just going in circles and circles and circles, never getting anywhere. So bullying, I've been bullied. I got beat up every day by my sister. That was, she didn't like that I got all the attention. She probably didn't like that. You know, there was a lot of things that was going on, that she was being abused by our father in different ways and stuff. And so she didn't like that she had to be our mom. So she would beat me and my brother up every day. When I say beat up, I mean we was beat up. And she would threaten us before we go to bed at night. Either we weren't waking up the next morning or she wasn't waking up. Someone wasn't going to wake up. So me and my brother would go to bed scared. You know, we had guns in the house. My dad taught us how to use all these weapons when we were younger and stuff.
Wow.
So it was just fear, always fear. I could never just breathe and feel safe. But yeah, so again, you know, I found myself in life as an adult, just being a good person, doing great things, breaking certain cycles in my generational, in my family and stuff with generational curses. But I was also creating new ones because of that B word. You know what I mean? That bullying word. It's not okay. It's not okay. And I really, until God told me, no, because I had that argument with him and I'm like, no, that's not me, God, that's not me. And he's like, it is, and it's okay. It's okay. That had to be you to get to where you're at.
Yep.
But you don't have it release, right? It was the release time. And it was like, he told me I had to remind myself who I really was, which meant I had to go back into all that stuff I thought I left behind. I thought I was going to be able to get through life with that unaddressed. I thought I addressed it in my own way.
Yeah.
He was like, no, we got to go all through that again. You have to know who you are and why you are who you are. Before you can truly declare who you want to be moving forward. So he was, I felt God, the way I understood the message was he was proud of me for my efforts.
Yeah.
He was proud of me for my efforts. But it was time for me to up the efforts. I got to that point where my efforts just weren't good enough anymore. It requires something new of me.
Right. And in order to grow, you have to know your shadow as well as your light.
Yes. So my partner in Activate Your Power Now, James Love, he's my heart coach. And I've been working with him the past year and a half, real heavy with that. And, that's that great, beautiful reminder that he still gives me to this day. And he says, Izzy, the shadow, you have to embrace the shadow. The shadow's always with you. It's a part of you. And depending on where the sun is positioned, the shadow is bigger than you sometimes.
Right.
But you embrace it. It's all right? It's a system. It's a cycle. It's like the 4 seasons.
Right. Exactly.
And so I just feel so grateful to have started that journey of that self-inner work, meditation, breath work, yoga, Gene, I see your videos and I'm very impressed. I'm like, I don't know, maybe one day I might have my legs up like that too. I don't know. But I would try anything.
Start slowly but surely. Start at the foundation. You build upon it. That's awesome, Noah. Thank you for telling us your story. That means a lot. And I know that again, there's more that you weren't able to speak to, but what you did share, it just helps us realize that we all have our work to do.
Yes.
And we're all wounded healers in our own way. So I love and appreciate your story.
Yes. And I tell people, people think they don't have a story because it's not as dramatic as mine. And I'm like, every story has power. The people who had the loving parents and that security and felt safe always growing up, like there's other people out there that need to know that they're not alone there either. You know what I mean? Because we find ourselves with these traumatic stories and everything, and we come out and we say them, and it's like, oh, we deserve all the empathy. We deserve all the prayers and love and attention. And it's like, no, we don't deserve it anymore because we all are aching, right? It's just that emotional system that we have. We all get heartbroken. We all have losses. And it don't matter what the loss is. I don't let people dictate anymore of, your story isn't as bad as mine. How dare you cry like that, and stuff. It's like, no, all of our story is important, and all of our stories consist something that somebody else can learn from or feel seen from. I think that's more important than learning, feeling seen.
Yeah.
Yep. Truly.
I want to ask you, if you have ever found out that your dad was bullied as a child?
Yes, I'm sure he was. It's just kind of the environment. Well, okay, I know a lot of actually. Yes. As a child, I don't know. I know the culture I come from, and it's probably not very much different than yours and a lot of other people's. It's because it's family. It's funny. Everybody has their nickname. Everybody has I have a couple of them. I'm like, I grew up with the worst self-esteem because it was, my name in Spanish is Chavela. And there's a thing in El Paso that still goes on to this day. If someone drops something, breaks something, trips and falls, anything, because I was always so clumsy, it's the Chavela special. And they still use it, and it's funny. I laugh. I think it's funny. But when it's like, it's funny to some people are very sensitive to things like that. So if you had a weakness in my family, that was your nickname, right? We're not going to hide it. We're going to spotlight it. You're going to own it and stuff. Then my dad did tell me a story, actually, where he went into the military. Again, being his family from Mexico, my grandparents didn't speak English, and his language was very broken when he went into the military, went to the Air Force. His look was being Hispanic and everything, and I'm considered a güera in my family. We're the light toned ones. So my dad's darker and everything.
Güera means white.
Yes. that was another way I got bullied. You know, like no joke. Moving from California, living on Air Force bases, we lived in Alaska, California. I think that's the only place I was born in Arizona. But in going to El Paso where nobody speaks English and going into the school systems, the kids don't speak English. They do most of the stuff in Spanish. My dad, I know now, he said that he was bullied when he joined the Air Force so bad. He started going against who he was. Like, he didn't allow us to call ourselves Mexican growing up because he said we're indigenous. Mexican's not even a real race. It's a created race. They created us to be workers. We're not owning that shit. He said we are indigenous. We are native. Now, the problem was he didn't do the work to tell us who we really were.
Yeah.
So it was just that. And then, okay, so who are we? We're not Catholic. He didn't take us to church. He didn't ever heard of God in my home when I was with my mom and my dad. We didn't speak Spanish, even though both of them are fluent in Spanish. And then we go home and now are we white? Are we Mexican? The kids, they weren't accepting to us. And then it was very shameful. My family, why don't you speak Spanish? Like, my grandparents would get mad at us because they would tell us we do know Spanish to quit acting dumb. And I'd be like, I would know some of what she was saying, but I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. But we would get in trouble for it, you know, and so it was just a lot. But yes, my dad said he very much got bullied. And I think that's also created a mental war of identity of who he was. And then being kind of in the middle toward the end of 11 children, you know, there's just so much that could probably play into that.
Yeah, because go ahead, Gene.
No, I just said, wow.
Yeah, because a lot of people, not all, but a lot of people that were bullied, you know, as they get older, and even, you know, when they are being bullied at whatever age it is, when they are around somebody or some people that are more vulnerable to them, then they take it out on them. And so they, you know, become bullies themselves to other people. Just because, you know, I'm stronger than you, you know, whether it's in, you know, mentally, physically, or emotionally, you know, you're the weaker one. So, you know, just listening to your story about, you know, the things that he did and how he, you know, did a lot of things, you know, and even being an MP, you know, for those that don't know, MP is military police. But for him being, you know, an MP, and, you know, how did he treat other people, you know, that he had, you know, authority over?
Right.
You know, did he bully them as well, or was he nice to them? Because sometimes you're, you know, not nice. Well, like him, for example, you know, being a bully outside of work, you know, go to work and be different, you know, not a bully at work, or vice versa. Not a bully at home, but you're being bullied by people at home. So you go to work and bully people, you know, so it's like, you know, somewhere I have to have control, you know, is how people, I don't want to say think, but, you know, it's how some people do, you know, how some people are, you know, I'm going to bully somebody. Everybody ain't going to always have control over me. And so that makes you angry, you know, because you don't want this person or these people bullying you, but you don't really have the strength or the courage to speak up to them, you know, and to let them know, you know, this is not the way that's going to be. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it got worse as he got older. And I think it was just because he got away, you know, he attempted to kidnap my younger brothers in his second marriage, did the same thing. But they had a mom that was able to fight for them during that time, you know?
Yeah.
So he didn't get away with it that time, but he even bullied me when he did that, my husband and I, because he kidnapped them and came and said he was dropping them off to us and we were going to take care of them. I'm like, don't include me in this. But that's what my dad would do because he was so used to training us to be out of integrity and be his soldiers and down for any and everything, that when I started standing up to him, you know, he didn't like it. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. And then as he got older, because no one would say anything, so because I'm the one constantly standing up, guess what I am? Overly emotional, right?
Yeah.
I'm the one who can't hang and handle it and just let things be. And it ended up trickling down. You know, he bullied the heck out of my children. And it's just disgusting, you know, to think that I allowed what I allowed. I was so brainwashed. And I just was also so scared for my kids to go down the wrong path as I did. Like, I came to Kansas to give them a different life. So when they were 14 and 17 and they got addicted to methamphetamines, I was like, no, this can't happen. And I didn't know how to help them. And my dad's like, let me step in, you know, and he started beating the shit out of them. And I mean, that was like
Oh.
years coming up. Like you know, he wants to fist fight people and things like that. And then he would just like little torture things. It was just disgusting, you know, where he would eat and not allow them to eat. They would have to watch him. It was like the punishment so they could learn their lesson. And it's like, no, it created so much
Hatred.
psychological stuff.
Yeah.
And my sister never let my dad touch her children, you know, and my dad used to tell my nephew when my sister when he'd come over to discipline her kids, and she'd be like, no, I got it, it's okay. And he would, in front of my sister, he would tell my nephew when he was about 11, and he would go in front of his face and put his finger, and he'd say, I'm gonna get you when your mom's not looking and when she's not around. You're mine. I'm gonna get you. And he would be crying, you know, like that was scary to him. And I knew he would. My sister would never allow that. I mean, that's the type of attitude, and that's what I was groomed with, you know. I also had the teachings of his sister, though. You know, my sister and my brother, I left by third grade. I couldn't take it anymore. I was the whistleblower to my dad again. Every time I'd find his drugs, I'd go tell my grandma, and he'd get in trouble, I guess. I don't know. And I'd get in a lot of trouble, but it was always worth it for me. I didn't know what the stuff was, but I was like, clearly he ain't supposed to have it if my grandma reacted that way. So yeah, I was a little problem maker, but you know.
So I want to interject something because of the things that you said, you know, about your dad and how, you know, how he was. We talked a lot about and learned a lot about narcissists, and he is very narcissistic. And, you know, when you said he, you know, was having y'all do things and telling y'all to do things, we talked about flying monkeys too. And that's what that is. You know, I'm going to get you to do my dirty work for me. And so The Wizard of Oz, did you ever see The Wizard of Oz?
Mm-hmm.
So the flying monkeys that she was sending out, go get her. That's flying monkeys, narcissistic flying monkeys.
Yeah.
And so I want to go back to something that you said earlier, and that's when the Lord was dealing with you and he was talking to you about your anger. And you were saying, my dad really needs to see this. He really needs to see this. And the Lord kept saying, no, I'm talking to you. Once you really got that after hearing it so much, then that's when you could admit, okay, you know, accept the fact, you know, you are talking to me. Okay, I do have issues. And once you do that, then things can turn around for you, you know, and healing can come. But as long as you hold on and say, no, that person, no, that person, no, that person, and never accept the fact that I'm looking at a mirror, you know, of me. This is a mirror image of me, of my heart. And so then surrendering and saying, hey, this is not what I want. This is not how I want to be. Once you do that and then say, I want whatever is better, then you can have that thing, but it's a healing process.
Exactly.
So, and it takes time to heal. So, Jean, you want to say something before I?
Yeah, I was going to say the first step to healing is acknowledging that you have a problem. First
Yeah.
step.
So, Izzy, talk to us about, the different things that you shared. Talk to us about your healing process for that. How did you start to heal? Because when I met you a couple years ago, you were constantly using the word intentional.
Yeah.
So, talk to us about that. How did that come about? And just tell us about it.
Absolutely. So my intentional journey started in 2017. So I already gave you guys a little bit of a piece of my sons at 14 and 17, right? A month before my oldest turned 18. They started dabbling in methamphetamines, and it just got them. And, my 24-year-old is still working really hard on his recovery. But on 2017, both my boys were full-fledged in their addiction. Keep in mind, my boys full-fledged in their addiction, my dad still causing trauma in the family and our lives with new generations being born in, and getting even bolder with us older ones and stuff. And there's that going on. There's felt like so much in my life was just falling apart. I had just realized in 2017, I was looking back at my life and realizing all the works that I had just put in. And I felt so defeated. I was like, for what? For what? I took myself from El Paso, where I had the biggest support system with my dad's family, because I couldn't, I was in gangs, the streets, all that. So even though I separated myself from the gangs and stuff, I still had people running up on me with guns while I was 9 months pregnant. I knew I had to get out of the state if I wanted to change my life. So I do all this to provide something different for my kids. And I'm realizing that nothing was different. Same shit, different day. Now my kids are addicted. My dad's still horrible. My mom still gave up on life and is just existing, don't have a care in the world about any of us, or at least didn't appear as if she did. Just so many things. And I was so ready my youngest was getting ready to be graduating. She graduated in 2019, but I was like, she's almost an adult. I was like, Lord, this is what you brought. This is what all this was for. I was like, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with myself. I'm not impressed with, I felt so defeated for the first time in a long time. Because when you're raising children, I just never had time to feel defeated.
Yeah.
But it was like the minute that my brain was like, hey, your kids are grown. I was like, oh, I could feel defeated. I could feel everything that I fought feeling for all these years. I could feel it now.
Yeah.
And when I started feeling it, I started questioning why I was still here. I'm like, clearly, God, I'm not good at being a good person. I'm not good at all these things that I thought I was being good at. Clearly, I suck. That's that self-bullying, right?
Yes.
Clearly, I suck.
Yeah.
And I really was ready to give up. I have a loving husband who has been here by my side, supporting me all the way. But that has nothing to do with my feelings that were emerging inside.
Yes.
And that's why I always felt like I didn't have a right to complain, because I have a loving husband. I had an aunt who was willing to take me in. I had this and I had that, but nothing changed what I was feeling inside.
Yes.
And if I spoke what I was feeling, I was called ungrateful. You know what I mean? And so I kept it all in, but I really started questioning. I was like, so this is the part, God, this is the part where I get to give up. It actually felt very like, finally, you know what I mean? Finally. Yeah. And during that year, my great nephew was born. So my husband and I, we've even actually before my husband, I've always been the one, I guess, because I always wanted to do something different, where the family's kids, my siblings, my parents, they've all lived with me numerous times. I take care of the nieces. They send their kids to me if they need help, stuff. I've always helped with the family to try to provide something different. So my niece, who just like a daughter to me, she got pregnant and was having a baby that year in 2017. She needed some help, so she came back to live with us again. And I went through that journey with her. And again, I was ready to give up, and that's where God told me. He was like, now is not the time. And I'm like, yes, it is. I have nothing more to live for. What's my job now? What am I here to do? And he said, that was all prep, right? That was all prep. He said, you have a new generation being born in your family that needs you.
Wow.
You were seeded with this purpose. You are the healer. You are the change. You are the way for your family.
Yes.
And then my great nephew was born on my birthday.
Wow.
And he wasn't due on my birthday. So he's my birthday buddy, and he lived with me. He's like a grandson to me, Bo Hunter. And when he was born, I told him he was a healer. So he knows now, he owns that he's a healer also. And he knows that he has the energy to be able to heal anything within himself. And I always told him he was a healer because he healed me. He gave me a reason again. And when he was born, it was just like boom, boom, boom. My niece over here, my nephew over here. Everybody was having kids. Literally, like God had just said, a whole new generation was being born. So that's where God started asking me about intentionality. You know, first he gave me the word intentional, and he's like, I had to break down that word. I'm like, well, what does it even mean, Lord, intentional? What are you trying to tell me? And I broke it down to on purpose. If you do something intentionally, you do it on purpose. Well, guess what? I was sick and tired of saying sorry in life.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it that way. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to offend you. Oh, I didn't mean to hurt you. Oh, I didn't mean intentional. If I put intention behind before everything I think, say, do, breathe, everything, if I just stamp a purpose on it first, which requires the pause and the breath. See, I move too fast. If you're in survival mode, you're moving too fast and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
But it was that pause and that breath. And I can ask before anything, what's the intention? Why? If I couldn't answer that, then I needed to sit with it.
Wow.
And I started writing. You know, I'm hosting a workshop on the 30th, part 1. Stephanie, I believe you'll be there. And you'll get
I've already signed up.
You'll hear the process that I used to break down, to figure out who I was and why. Now, keep in mind, I was groomed also. There's no such thing as mental illness. My grandparents, again, who are from Mexico, they said there's no such thing. That's a lazy person's excuse to not do their part.
Mm.
So that was stamped in my brain. Well, my mom has severe mental illness, which is what kept her, which is a severe trauma, mental illness, what kept her from being able to be present in our lives. And she was an addict herself. So as I'm becoming an adult and my mom's explaining all her things, right, as a child, when we would see her and what was going on with her, why she couldn't be with us, as I'm parenting, those words are coming through me because everything she explained, I'm feeling. I had no safe place to say, I think I need help. I think I have a problem. I think that was weakness. I couldn't be weak.
Yeah.
And so it was a lot of that, but it required, you know, and that's why I like to say, Izzy, the intentional healer. You know what I mean? It's like I healed myself by just making my life on purpose with purpose. And that could mean anything. If people could just slow down enough and start writing down their roles in life and figuring out, well, the role, break down your roles of who you are and your beliefs, and then just go through the list and start asking yourself, why do I have this belief? Why does this trigger me? Why does this? And God's going to surface a lot of things you probably forgot, you know, and you want to do this with someone you trust, someone you respect. Reach out to somebody if you know, or attend something like Activate Your Power Now, where we're a tribe of just embracing people and their truths and allowing them to have that safe place to just speak whatever it is their truth. And then work through it, go on a journey of self-help. So I just learned, again, it's everything I needed, I already had. I just had to believe in the power of my creator, of what I said I believed in. And that's why I like to pose, I like to ask people the question. I heard this question over 10 years ago in a Bible study called The Truth Project. And it really has had me thinking on it. I chew on this question a lot since I heard it, but do you really believe what you really believe is really true?
Mm.
So you see, I don't tell nobody what their belief systems need to be. I just like to challenge them. Whatever you say your belief system is, do you actually honestly believe it?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Well,
You'll have peace in your life. You'll have peace.
Yeah.
Because I had to start breaking down what I believe in. What is it that I believe in and why? And get rid of whatever was not mine. No, that's not actually my belief. That was put on me. I never even believed it. I felt kind of questioned that anyway. Let go of it. When I started releasing all that wasn't mine and just breathing and asking, see, I was asking God at one point. I was asking him, just allow everything to surface that is mine to do, right? And that's where another golden nugget God gave me that has totally changed my life was he told me to stop asking. I know that we want to say, our first thought we want to do when we're speaking to God is to ask for something because, well, he's everything, right? But God said that we're created in his image. And with us being created in his image, we have everything available to us already that he is.
Yeah.
So it's just, he told me, just start giving thanks. When you give thanks for something, you activate it. It's acknowledged, like Jean said. Give thanks for it. That acknowledges it. It starts, everything's a vibration of energy. So if we just have to agitate it a little bit, it's going to start agitating everything next to it. Friction is going to happen and things are going to start surfacing.
Right.
So, I had to just really start, what do I believe in and why? And then, do I really believe in what I believe in? If so, then I need to be practicing it. And my beliefs is that love, right? We're to move in love. And when you move in love, you're going to naturally find peace in your life. Not peace because people are treating you right. Not peace because life is going your way. Peace because you know that you are on a divine path and God makes no mistakes. And our story is our journey to purpose. So you can just have a grateful heart. And with a grateful heart, you have peace. I mean, that's how I keep myself at peace now. I'm like, I just have to be in gratitude. We have a speaker on the platform that said one time, and I held on to it. Some days it's just being grateful for the smell of your shampoo when you're washing your hair. You can't find anything else in life to be grateful for. Give thanks to that.
Right.
The minute same thing. The minute you activate that scent you just gave thanks to is going to spark a new trigger of gratitude in your head. Oh yeah,
Yes.
that lady who opened the door for me. Oh yeah, actually I am blessed. Why am I tripping?
Right.
And then just knowing that hurt people. So instead of judging them now for hurting me, offending someone I love, I'm going to pray and lift them up because I don't want them to be in a hurt state. They do me no good, right? We do each other no good existing in this world together if we're not uplifting each other to come out of those hurts. So it's just pray for people, lift them up. Don't judge. When you want to judge, find a reason to make yourself better. That's it.
I want to share something on gratitude that I just heard this morning. It was part of the sermon. So, and it was live from a place of gratitude. And then the pastor said, anxiety and gratitude come from the same place in your brain. Choose to be thankful. And so, like you were saying about the shampoo, the smell of the shampoo, anything, you start that. I'm thankful for this, the little things. I'm thankful for this pen to write with. I'm thankful for this paper to write on, and then more things. And Jean knows this and says this all the time. You're bringing more things to be thankful for into your life. And so it's just, I don't want to be, I'm anxious. No, let me be thankful and just start thanking God for the little things. I'm thankful that I'm not bald headed. I'm thankful. just start there and just look. If you just look around the area where you are and just start thanking God for anything, and then constantly keep doing that. Before you know it, you're not even thinking about the anxiety because your focus changed. You shifted your focus
Exactly. That's why I
by
started realizing I'm like, I can't be in gratitude and upset at the same time. Like
right,
it was the opposite. There was no way I could exist in both at the same time. I found that interesting. And then I'm like, well, I like this one better.
right.
So
And
I'm
Mark
in the
said,
truth now.
yeah, and Mark said, don't sweat the small things, and that's exactly what that is. The anxiety, you got to go. Nope. And then just so it was just amazing how he, that was just a little piece of what he did with that. But it just helps you to shift. Like I said, the way you think.
Right.
Gene.
Yeah, I did want to, before we get out of here, I did want to ask you to give a quick synopsis, if you can, of your journey from Gigi's Natural Hippie Essentials to Activate Your Power Now.
Okay, what was the question? The
So,
transition?
yeah. So if you could just kind of give us a quick synopsis of the journey from Gigi's Natural Hippie Essentials to Activate Your Power Now.
Okay. Yeah, I see we got like 3.5 minutes left. I'm gonna keep this quick. That's a whole awesome story in itself. So I am a breast cancer survivor in 2020. And I was someone who never got sick. And the reason why, never broke a bone, anything like that. And I didn't want to get sick as a kid because we would go to a doctor who was an uncle in Juarez, Mexico. And I'm still was a little suspicious about that. I'm like, I'm fine, I'm not sick. So yeah, we treated a lot of stuff at home. So I have bad doctor habits and got breast cancer, 3 major surgeries in 3 months, along with different medications, a lot of unserving things going on in my mind, suicidal thoughts, depression, all that stuff happening. Again, I had a very traumatic background with my mom. My mom is Gigi. She is the one who God has blessed with these recipes. And she's always loved natural products, natural things, creating her own stuff. So had been using that salve, making that salve for years. And with my cancer surgeries, I was having a lot of difficulties with the medicines they were giving me. My body was rejecting stuff and everything. So she kept telling me to use her salve, and she was upsetting me when she would say that, because I'm like, listen, Ma, it's not fibromyalgia. This is cancer. Leave me alone. Let my doctors take care of me. And she just kept saying, I hate seeing you suffer like this. I think this could help you, and she lived with me at the time. So finally, I listened to my mom, thank goodness. And it did help me. I was able to get off. I had one more surgery after I started using it, and I didn't need any of my pharmaceutical pain medications for my surgery. I used strictly her salve. That awoken me again, this journey I was on of intentionality. God kept trying to show me my mom's value. And I kept trying to tell him, like, well, she has to believe in her value before she wants me to believe in it, right? And so I kept making excuses, but God wanted me to see that, again, broken people have their purpose too. You know what I mean? Like, that's me being a bully, thinking that my mom didn't have her own purpose because she's in her 60s and she still hadn't tried to look for it, but that was her purpose right there. So because I started so God wanted me, again, my boys were homeless and stuff at the time. So I started making the salve. I started giving it out around the homeless community. God showed me, I wasn't gonna be able to save my children. There was a lot of children out there of his that didn't have a support system the way my kids had with me. So he wanted me to go be their support system and just help in any way I can. So went on that journey. I wanted to grow the business, so I took a speaking class so that I can learn how to speak on my product, learn my avatar, all that good stuff. Well, it was during that class that God also revealed to me that I wasn't there to learn how to sell this salve. He said, that's his product. That's going to do its own thing and be successful. But I needed to learn how to tell my story. That's what I was in the speaking class for. And I had a problem with that too. So we had to go back and forth with God a little bit. But that's what transitioned me into Activate Your Power Now. Me, James, Shauna, Chanel, Tokyo. There was a group of us in the speakers class that put on, it was a graduation assignment, a conversion event. We put it on, we united, put it on together. And we had people there that were just supporting us, friends, family, and stuff, because it was just a graduation event. Well, people started getting activated in the audience and just saying how they resonated with what somebody said on stage, and God spoke to them too, but they didn't feel important enough, or they didn't have a platform to tell their story. And that's where we invited them on stage and said, share it here. We're sharing ours, share yours too. And we've just been doing that for 2 years now. People getting up on stage. Yes, we have professional speakers on our platform because they love to come pour into people. They all volunteer. But more than that, Activate Your Power Now is about the rawness. It's not about being a professional speaker. It's just answering that call when God tells you it's time to tell your story. Someone's waiting to hear it so their life can change, so they can know that change is out there, so they can know that everybody's story is important, and our story is our path to purpose. So again, I had to release that. Self-bullying was probably the worst bullying I've ever gone through, because I just realized and got over self-bullying within the last couple years. I didn't even know that existed. So I'm telling everybody else they're wrong for treating me some kind of way, but I'm sitting here treating myself the same or worse.
Yeah.
So that's why my kids don't know how to tell themselves it's okay when they mess up.
Yeah.
It's okay, and they run to drugs and stuff, because I didn't allow room for that.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
You have shared so much amazing, inspirational, and empowering information. Just helping people learn how to start healing. First you got to submit. You got to acknowledge, there's a problem. And the problem is not all the people you're pointing the fingers at. The problem is in you. And so your heart has to be changed. And we can't change our heart because we don't even see what's in our heart. But God does. And he's willing to change, our hearts. We just have to be willing to submit to him and allow him to show us the ugly stuff that's in our hearts so that we can be better people. Izzy, we really appreciate you sharing your stories and for being authentic. You are an amazing person, and I'm really thankful that God made sure that our paths crossed. And this is not the end for us.
Oh no, we are just starting on a couple things.
Yes. And so, tell Dave I said hi. Y'all are so awesome. I really enjoyed visiting with y'all. So make sure you tell him I said hi. This is the end of our show. We are going to play Jean's video. So Izzy, if you want to stay and watch the video, and then we'll meet back in the studio for a few minutes afterwards, that would be great. To everybody else, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching our show. Even if you're watching the replay, we ask you to like and subscribe and to share the video so that others can get this information and start their healing process and their journey, and so that they know that what you went through may not be as bad as what Izzy has gone through, or what you are going through or have been through. It could be worse or it could be better, but there's some things that you can get and take from her story and heal even more. So we're constantly healing in our lives, no matter what's going on or what's happened. And we should be constantly learning. So take care. We send you peace. We send you love. And we say take care. We'll see you next Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, right wherever you're watching us from. Take care and bye for now.
Had become a common thing, but I have to me see how my strength of will make me proud. Everything falls into place. Gotta take the risk, can't play it safe. Gotta have the faith to move mountains. Then you'll be free. Won't let you take it from me. No, 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 no. Won't let you take it from me. No, 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 no. Won't let you take it from me. No, 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 no. Won't let you take it from me. No, 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 no. This piece of mind was hard for that I had. A strong resolve at all costs. Had to stop pulling on, cutting my loss through the struggle. Pay the cost to be a boss no more. Struggle, just clear sky. Decided to take control of my life. Now I'm not afraid to reach for those heights. Ain't no glass ceilings inside. Take it from me. No, 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 no. Won't let you take it from me. No, 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 no. Won't let you take it from me. No, 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 no. Won't let you take it from me. No, 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 no. Won't let you take it from me. 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 Won't let you take, won't let you take it from me. Won't let you take, won't let you take it from me. Won't let you take, won't let you take it from me. Won't let you take, won't let you take it. Won't let you take, won't let you take it from me. Won't let you take, won't let you take it from me. Won't let you take, won't let you take